Hey fam, we're back with another banger. What if Edward Cullen lost Bella Swan? So before we start, if you are craving adult mature content, join my Patreon now, linker in the description box. Alright, enough talk, let's fire it up. It was morning and it was a cloudy day as usual. I lay on my bed thinking about what Edward said to me last night. Flashback. Tomorrow I'm going to take you to meet my family, Edward said. I was hesitant. Was he crazy? I didn't want to meet his parents and siblings. What if they don't like me? I mean, I really don't mind being with vampires, but I really don't want to screw up my first meeting. I want to make a good first impression. Edward said, Bella, are you okay? Oops, I guess I should answer. I think that it would be great to meet them. I wanted to make him happy. He said, great, and you're not scared or anything, are you? Well, just a little bit, not 'cause they're vampires, but what if they don't like me? He logged head and then said, Bella, I'm sure they will love you just the way I do. Well, hopefully they don't feel the same exact way, because then I will be upset and possibly disgusted. I laughed. I love when he makes me feel better. Then I kissed him goodnight and he sang me my lullaby while I fell asleep. Back to the present. I can't believe that I'm going to meet the Cullens today. I'm so nervous after. I thought about it for a while. I turned to my other side to see Edward faced up looking at the ceiling. Edward said, good morning Bella, you ready for today? Yes, just let me get ready and then we can go. I got up and went to the restroom to change. I picked out some of my nice jeans and a nice blue t-shirt. After I got ready, I brushed my teeth, did all the necessities to get ready, combed out my hair and went back to my room. I see Edward there sitting on my bed and he looked really happy. You look extravagant Bella, just like every day. I blushed. He always knows what to say to make me blush. He absolutely dazzles me. Thanks, now I think we should get going. We got down the stairs and he opened the door for me and we were off. We were almost there with Edward's fast driving and all, and I got more nervous by the second. Don't fret, you will be fine. He grabbed my hand and was massaging it while he was driving with one hand. We finally made it to the house. It was so beautiful, big and mostly made out of glass. Wow. When Edward parked, I noticed he started getting tense. Edward, what's wrong? Nothing, just a certain somebody is here that I never really intended on you meeting. Who are you talking about? Just stay close to me. Why was Edward acting like this? Why doesn't he want me to know who is here? Come on, he said. He quickly opened my door and when I got out he immediately put his arm around my waist and we headed up to the house. We were walking towards the house. Gosh, it was beautiful, almost as beautiful as Edward, but not quite. I really wanted to know who he was, so stressed about me meeting. He opened the door and it was amazing, nicely polished and great furniture. What do you think? Edward, this is an amazing place. I think it's lovely, and you know what would make it better? What? If you told me who was here, I said, letting him know that I just want to know what's going on. I hate being left in the dark. Bella, not right now, besides you will find out so. On enough, he said with a disappointing look. We were walking to the living room, which it had seemed like when there she was, Alice. Hey Edward, it's about time you brought her here, Alice said, and then approached me and then hugged me. Wow, that was not what I was expecting. It's good to see you Bella, Edward can't stop talking about you. Alice, he said. It seemed he was getting embarrassed. If Ard could blush, I think he would have right about now. Then Edward asked Alice, where is everyone else? She said, well, Carlisle is still at the hospital. Emmett and Jasper went hunting to satisfy their thirst. The girls went earlier. And Rosalie and Esme are up in the guest room. Wait a minute, guest room is usually for someone who is staying for a while. Well, if Edward isn't going to tell me, maybe Alice will. Alice, who exactly is in the guest room? Edward looked at me as if he was scared that I asked that. Well, she is a visitor that decided to visit us, one who has come very far from her. And I think I should leave you two alone so Edward can explain. Edward said, what a great idea, Alice, speaking through his teeth. Alice then left and Edward and I were alone in the living room. Edward just looked upset, no doubt about that. Edward led me towards the couch and we both sat down. We sat in silence for a while until I broke the silence. So, are you going to tell me what's going on, or Oh, I have to go see who's in the guest room. Edward held me in a tight grasp around my waist to make sure I don't go anywhere. No, I'll tell you. He looked like he was trying to find the words, the P. Well, Vampire that's here is Tanya, and all you need to know is that we have known her for a long time and she likes visiting us, but I don't like her because she is very sneaky in many ways. Then I said, well, sneaky in doing what? Edward, sneaky in trying to be with me. As soon as he said that I thought, wow, this vampire who is probably extraordinarily beautiful wants to be with Edward, how can I compete with that? Bella, don't worry, she doesn't interest me, there's only one person that has ever held my interest, you. I started to blush and then Edward grabbed my face and gently kissed me. With his cold lips, this time it was longer than any kiss we have had so far. I got carried away and my fingers were twisting in his hair as usual when I get carried away, which means he's going to pull away any second, and he did. Feel better now, he said. Much better. Then I decided to make sure I still looked okay for his parents, so I asked Edward, do you guys have a place with a mirror? I need a human minute. Yes. Right down the hall on the left. Okay, I'll be right back. He let go of me cautiously. Don't worry, I think I'll be fine. I went down the hall and to the door on the left. I closed the door and locked it. Surprisingly, it was an actual bathroom with a mirror and a shower. I looked at my hair and luckily it wasn't messed up, it was still intact. I hope everything will go well because I am so nervous, I think I am going to puke. I was going back down the hallway, but before I made it back to the living room I stopped in my tracks, hearing a voice I never heard before. Edward. Oh, my dear, it's been too long. I am so glad to see you, Edward. The first have missed you a lot, you have no idea. Hello, Tanya. Edward sighed, unsatisfied. I went all the way down the hall to take a peek. It was this beautiful vampire, just like I imagined, beautiful than me. I also noticed that she was very fashionable, and then I looked at my outfit. I have no chance. She grabbed Edward's face and kissed both sides of his cheeks. I was upset about that. I didn't know if I should go back to the restroom and wait until she is gone or quickly go back to Edward. I made up my mind and decided to go to Edward. Boy, was I scared. When I went in the living room, mostly everyone was there and I narrowed down which one was Edward's mom. They all looked at me: Rosalie, Alice, Esme, Tanya, and Edward. I was basically taking little steps heading towards Edward. Then Edward noticed me and then he had grabbed my hand and put his arm around my waist. Tanya looked like she was disgusted. I can already tell that this is going to be a long day. I felt really uncomfortable the way Tanya was just looking at me like I was a complete freak, and she also looked like she was disgusted with me. Edward, darling, what is this human doing here? Edward grabbed my hand and raised our hands for Tanya to see. She's here because we are together. I noticed Alice was snickering and Tanya was absolutely speechless. Rosalie was just sitting in the corner of the room, not speaking. That's probably because she doesn't like me. Edward told me that she didn't really like me too much. I can tell Tanya was about to say something that was really rude, no doubt, until Esme intercepted. Hello Bella, it's nice to finally meet you. I'm Esme. It's nice to meet you, Mrs. Cullen. I could hear Tanya say, oh brother, what was her problem? Oh, please call me Esme. Bella. Okay, Esme. We all sat down in the living room. I felt really uncomfortable. It was hard for me to relax, I was so tense. Then Tanya started to talk to Edward, again. So Edward, do you remember the time when we all went hunting in the woods and found so many animals that we didn't know what to do with all of them? Oh, that was a good day, and it was so easy because we can keep up with each other. It's so good being a vampire. Okay, now I know she is trying to get to me, but it's okay because I'm not going to let her get to me, not one bit. Then I noticed all of us were just listening to Tanya talk and Edward wasn't very interested. At least I don't think he was. He just kept answering in yes and no's. Then after a while Edward finally got to say something. Gee, I'm going to take Bella up to my room and show her around before she meets Carlisle, Jasper, and Emmett. We got up and then I saw Tanya get up. Oh no, is she coming with us? But luckily Alice grabbed her hand and said, Tanya, why don't you tell us about your trip a little more? Where did you get that lovely, fashionable, and extravagant outfit? We started walking up the stairs. All I could hear Nya say before her voice drifted was, well Alice, let me tell you what happened. Oh, thank goodness she is not coming. We finally reached his room. His room was really big, bigger than my own room. Wow, he was lucky. Edward, your room is amazing. Thanks, we're lucky. Tanya stops what she is doing when someone asks her a fashion question. Alice knows just what to do, but are you okay? I didn't want to tell him I wanted to go home, yet the rest of his family hasn't even gotten here yet. It's only going to be about 4:30, and Charlie wasn't going to be home till 3 a.m. He was working late tonight. I went to sit on his couch that he had and he sat next to me. Well, then I had to bring it up. Are you sure you never felt a tiny bit of feelings for Tanya? Edward laughed. Bella Ilrea. Di told you that you are the only one who has ever touched my heart. Besides, Tanya and I will now and forever will be just friends. We have known each other for a long time, but I can only see us as friends. Oh, does your family like her? Well, Esme and Carlisle like her. Jasper sort of likes her. As for Alice, Rosalie, and Emmett, they don't really like her. For some reason she bugs them, but I don't know why. They always try to convince the rest of us that she is evil or something, but she's been nothing but nice. Maybe I have gotten Tanya all wrong. Maybe she was just in shock and not used to a human around. Have you and your family traveled with her a lot? Yes, we travel with her from time to time, and also sometimes with her coven. I don't know what to think about Tanya right now. She seems rude, but the way Edward describes her, she seems nice. Wait, then why do you keep me close and hold on to me? I just want to make it clear that we are together, and just in case she tries to do something funny, that way she will know I would be very upset with her. Oh, that makes sense. Then Edward grabbed me and I put my head on his chest. We just sat there in silence, and Edward decided to break that silence. Relax, Bella. You don't need to worry about anything. Nothing is going to happen. Right there, Edward turned my face towards his and gave me a kiss, though it didn't last. He probably didn't want what happened earlier to happen. I guess Edward is right. What could possibly happen? As Edward and I sat on his couch, I was trying to forget all about Tanya and just focus on Edward and me, and meeting the rest of his family, but I couldn't. She's just like a piece of gum on your shoe. You try to get it off, but it just won't go away. I wonder what Edward is thinking. I'm glad he can't read my mind. Especially right now. I don't want him to hear what I'm thinking. Bella, are you ready to meet the rest of my family? What? They're here. Yes, I can hear their thoughts right now, and they're about to come in, and sure enough I heard the front door close. I'm ready, I sighed. I really didn't want to go with Tanya down there. Edward noticed my look and grabbed my face with both his hands. Bella, you're going to be fine, I promise, and if you're worried about Tanya, I could take you home and we'll wait until she's gone for you to be more comfortable. No, Edward, I'll be fine. You sure? Completely. We walked down the stairs and everybody was there now. As soon as we got down the stairs, Carlisle greeted me with a nice yet very gentle hug. It's nice to see you again, Bella. You to Dr. Cullen. Call me Carlisle, he said it so nicely. Okay, Carlisle. I haven't seen Carlisle since Edward saved me from Tyler's van crushing me. Then Edward started to introduce me to his brothers. Bella, this is Emmett. Nice to meet you, Emmett. Hey, Bella, Emmett said while giving me a gentle handshake. Then Edward introduced me to Jasper. He was just standing there. It's nice to meet you, Bella. I remember Edward saying that it was a little hard for him because he's the newest vegetarian. Well, why don't we all sit down, relax, and talk a little, Carlisle said graciously. So we all sat down. Luckily there were enough room for all 9 of us to sit down. Edward sat right next to me, but Tanya sat on the other side of Edward. The first didn't like that at all. So how is your father doing, Bella? He's doing great. He's working late tonight until 3 o'clock in the morning. Wow, he must be really busy. Yeah, he is. Everybody was watching my every move. Well, I guess they have never had a human in their house before, so I don't blame them. Except Tanya kept eyeing Edward and he looked uncomfortable. We're all so happy you're here, Bella. Edward has been alone a long time and it's nice to see him happy, Esme said. Thank you, Esme, it's nice to be here. Then Alice started to talk. Can I speak to the family real quick in the kitchen? Everyone started to go except Edward, Tanya, and I. What's wrong? I asked Edward. I'm not sure. Alice is preventing me from hearing what she is thinking. Oh, I am going to see what happened. Then he whispered in my ear, you'll be fine, I am going to be right around the corner. I was sitting in silence with Tanya until she broke that silence. Great. So Belinda darling, how do you feel about this? I was trying not to let her get to me, but unfortunately she has already. It's Bella, and feel about what? Well, being with Edward, of course. It's wonderful and amazing. Why? I'm just wondering, it must be difficult on him. What do you mean? I mean he always has to protect you 24/7. Has to watch you all the time, and be careful. I bet he can't fully kiss you without worrying about hurting you. That's it, she is getting to me, her words are really hurtful. I hate being sensitive, I can already feel my eyes tearing up. I'm not a burden to Edward. I never said that, you came up with that all on your own, she said with attitude. What makes you think you're better than me, Tanya? Well, I'm more Edward's speed because we have a lot in common. We have both known each other for a long time, we have the same interests, and we are both the same species. My tears were falling off my cheeks, I couldn't take this anymore because in a way she is absolutely right. I felt like walking out. Oh, don't cry darling, I just can't believe you could stand being what did you call it, burden. I mean if I were you I would just leave him and let him find someone that's a vampire. If you think about it, you will die eventually and then you won't have him anymore and he won't have you. So don't you think you should just leave him now and save all the hurt later? That's it, I was done listening, I had to get out of here, so I got up and ran out of the house, heading for the forest, trying to find some way to get home as long as I was away from Tanya. I just hope I don't get lost. As Bella and I sat on my couch I was trying not to listen to Tanya's thou GHTS, which I'm sure I didn't want to hear. I was focusing only on Bella and trying to make her relax. It felt like Tanya was up to something, but whenever I read her mind there was nothing suspicious. No words can explain how bad I feel for lying to Bella. I only lied a little bit on the part where I'm basically implying that I trust Tanya. I mean she is still my dear old friend, but she is very Why when it comes to something she didn't get? I wonder what Bella is thinking. I wish I could read her mind. I could hear in Carlisle, Emmett, and Jasper's minds that they were almost home. So I listened in. We must all behave because today Bella has come with Edward, Carlisle said. And I was hoping we could have fun with a human around. Where's the fun without a little teasing? Emmett said, with his extraordinarily annoying teasing voice. I'm just going to stay away as much as possible. Jasper said, I guess it's time for Bella to meet the rest of my family. Bella, are you ready to meet the rest of my family? What? They're here. I could feel that she was tense. Yes, I can hear their thoughts and they're about to come in. As soon as I said that they were already here. I was waiting for her response, hoping she was ready. I'm ready. I could tell she was not ready, so I grabbed her face with my hands as gently as I could. Bella, you're going to be fine, I promise, and if you're worried about Tanya, then I will take you home and we'll wait until she's gone for you to be more comfortable. No, Edward, I'll be fine. You sure? Completely. She didn't seem at all okay, so I put my arms around her waist and she seemed to ease up a little. As we walked down the stairs, everyone was there. I just hoped that Emmett would behave, but knowing him, he won't. Then I heard Carlisle, well, I guess I should introduce myself first. It's nice to see you again, Bella, Carlisle said while giving Bella a gentle hug. I felt hesitant when I let her go to receive a hug from Carlisle, but I trust him. You to Dr. Cullen, call me Carlisle. Okay, Carlisle. I guess I should introduce her to Emmett and get it over with. Bella, this is Emmett. Nice to meet you, Emmett. Hey Bella, he gave her a hand shake and I was surprised he didn't respond with any of his unnecessary or inappropriate comments. Then there was Jasper. Yesterday I told him to control himself. Jasper said very cautiously, it's nice to meet you, Bella. It all went really well, but then I noticed Tanya on the couch eyeing her nails as if no one was here. Well, why don't we all sit down, relax, and talk a little, Carlisle said. And to go sit down, so I let go of Bella's waist and held her hand, although I don't think she noticed. I think she was too occupied with talking with Carlisle. When we sat down, Tanya sat close to me, really close. I couldn't even listen to their conversation because Tanya's thoughts were so loud. Wow, Edward darling, she is a true gem. You picked a good one, although I would have expected you to pick someone your species. Although if that's what you want to live with, fine. I just hope you know how I always felt about you, Edward. To me you were more than my friend. Right there I started to feel uncomfortable with the way she was talking, and obviously she knew I was listening. But don't worry, Edward, the first will not interfere. I wouldn't want to hurt you, but you should be careful. You never know with and she could change her mind just like that and walk away from your life, but I doubt that will ever happen. I can't wait to know her more. We are going to be best friends. Well, she seems like she's Telling the truth, maybe she will actually move on, that's what it seems like she's implying. Then I noticed Alice and that face she gets when she has a vision. Finally Alice spoke, can I speak with the family real quick in the kitchen? Everyone got up except Tanya, Bella, and me. Alice wouldn't let me in on what her vision was about, she was just thinking about shopping, figures. Then Bella asked me, what's wrong? I'm not sure. Alice is preventing me from hearing what she is thinking. Oh, I'm going to see what happened. Then I whispered in her ear and said, you'll be fine, I'm right around the corner. As I walked to the kitchen I noticed that Alice was complaining obviously about the vision. Then I asked her, Alice, what happened? Edward, in my vision I think I saw Bella, right there. I stiffened up, getting attacked, but I'm not exactly sure. I gritted my teeth. What do you mean you're not sure? Well, in my vision it was kind of fuzzy and extremely dark, there was no light except the moon, but where she was it was dark, you could hardly see the moon. Then Carlisle tried to talk to me and calm me down. Edward, calm down, we don't know right now when this will happen. I think it was the Wicked Witch of the West over there. Emmett said annoyingly. I wasn't in the mood. Emmett, please, Esme said. Rosalie and Jasper were the only ones keeping quiet, which I was thankful for, because how could Alice not know for sure? Now I need to stay close to Bella, but what if Emmett was right? What if it was Tanya? I couldn't take it anymore. I wanted to get back to Bella. Well, Alice, while you try to figure the vision out, I'm going to go back with Bella. I was so irritated I had to go, so as soon as I start going back to the living room I hear the door slam. Oh no. I ran and was there in a second, but when I looked around Tanya was yelling out the door, Bella, come back. She didn't seem like she was putting in effort in yelling. Then I knew it was time to worry because Bella was gone. As I was trying to find the road that Edward had driven on, I couldn't help but continue to think about what Tanya said. In many ways she is right. Edward did always have to protect me. He couldn't kiss me too much because he might hurt me, and I think I really am a burden to him. Maybe I should just get out of his life like Tanya said and let him be with his own species. I have to find a way to get home. I mean, it's already dark and the moon is out. It is a pretty moon and it's a crescent moon. I wiped off my tears and then was more aware of my surroundings. I was surrounded with nothing but trees, no road, no town. And there was nobody around. I was starting to get scared. Maybe I should have told Edward to take me home. Although Tanya was getting on my nerves, I had to get out of there. I couldn't stand it any longer. I realized that I had my cell phone with me, so I grabbed it out of my pocket and it's dead. This would only happen to me. I kept wandering around trying to figure this out, without falling on the ground and crying, till some vicious animal found me and killed me. Then boom. I fell hard on the ground. It hurt a lot. Then I looked to try to see what I tripped on and it felt to be a tree branch. Figures, I mumbled. I got up and continued walking, and I knew Charlie wouldn't be worrying right now because I was certain it wasn't 3 o'clock in the morning yet. I really miss Edward. The first wish I would have waited for him. Then I heard a noise. It sounded like something rustling in a bush or something. I was getting scared. I started to walk faster. What if it was a creature that was hungry? I shuddered at the thought. It came out. I just saw a big shadow in the night and I screamed real loud. I could hear my scream echo in the forest. I stood absolutely still. I started to move towards me. Okay, now I think it's time to run, but I couldn't find myself to move my legs until I got a better look at the shadow, and it had antlers. Phew. It's just a deer. I would know those kinds of antlers because when I was a kid Charlie would show me what all the forest animals look like. I started to just walk the other way, leaving it be. I could barely see the moon. It was hidden between all of the trees. I wonder what Edward is doing right now. He probably decided to let me be since I'm such a burden to him, and just figures that I have my cell phone and could call Charlie. Well, he won't have to worry about me anymore. I never really looked at me being a burden to him, ever. Then I heard a whoosh in the air, but it sounded like it was coming from the trees. Calm down, it's probably a bird for all I know. I heard the noise get louder and louder, and then I screamed out of fear and bam. I was tackled to the floor. I felt like I was a goner. I tried to struggle away from whatever was holding me to the ground. It wouldn't work. Whatever was holding me down was strong. I tried to push its face away so its teeth couldn't get anywhere near me, but then, its face, its structure, and the coldness, it couldn't be I touched the top of what seemed to be its hair and there was one person who it could be, Edward. I noticed I was still trying to struggle away even though I knew who it was. Bella, Bella, calm down. Edward, would you get off of me, you're hurting me, and it did. He put so much force to tackling me down it hurt real bad. He let go immediately and I just laid there in shock. Why would he hurt me? Why would he tackle me like that? Bella, what were you thinking? You could have been killed and then where would I be? Bella, why didn't you tell me you wanted to go? He was yelling at me. He never yelled at me. He must be really irritated, but that was no reason for yelling at me the way he was. And then of course tears started to flood in my eyes and drip down on my cheek. I didn't want to hear him yell at me, so I got up and started walking the other way towards that big deer I saw. I'd rather be with the deer than Edward right now. My body started to ache. He really put a lot of force when he tackled me. Of course I heard Edward right behind me and he grabbed my arm. Bella, where are you going? He started to sound normal and not mad. I'm going far away from you as possible. Why would you do that? You know I want you by my side all the time, Bella. Why? So you can protect me all the time and always worry. No thanks, Edward. I tugged away from his grip, but no. In him, he just let go of me because there was no way I could get out of his grip that easily. Where is this coming from, Bella? We need to get you back to the house and see if you're alright. I didn't want to go back and face all the Cullens, and especially Tanya. Then my leg had given out and I fell. OWWW, I fell hard on the ground and started to cry more. Edward came to my side and sat down with me. I have to admit I did feel safer with him around, but I told myself that I would stay away from him and no longer be a burden to him. Bella, why would you leave me? I wanted to tell him the truth and what Tanya said, but what's the point? It's a long story and I'm sure Tanya would defend herself saying it's not true. There was no point. I would only say what I have to say. I didn't want to be a burden to you anymore. I wish I could see his face right now. You are never a burden to me, Bella, never. Then he grabbed me and held me against his chest and I really didn't have the strength to push him away, especially because right now I can't walk. Bella, do you have any idea how worried I was because you left? I was deeply worried. I rushed as fast as I could to find you. I was looking in the whole forest. I was imagining the worst, and when Alice had a vision that you were being attacked, it made me worry more, but now I realized that I must have been the one who attacked you. Wow, he LLY was worried about me and that must have been Alice's vision, but no, I am not going to bother him and nothing will change my mind. Edward, I'm sorry you have to waste your time protecting me, so just drop me off at Charlie's and I will leave you alone forever. Bella Swan, I never want you to leave me alone forever. I want you to always be with me. I don't know what suddenly brought all this on you. I want you to believe me that you are not a burden to me. He sounded really sincere, like he really meant it and wanted me to be with him forever. Edward, no I don't. He put his lips on mine and read to fight back, but he wouldn't let me and then I gave up. His fingers were twisting in my hair and mine in his, and this kiss was with more force than he ever had. I was expecting him to stop, but didn't. We kept on kissing, but then he noticed I needed to breathe, so he stopped. Now will you stay with me? I thought nothing could change my mind, but it did. That kiss was more than a kiss. It was telling me that he really wanted me to stay with him, and that meant a lot to me. I think I just might, I said in a teasing voice. Why don't I make it to a yes, I'm staying? Then he grabbed my face again and gave me a more passionate kiss, and when I needed air, he just moved to my jawline and my neck. Then after a few seconds his lips moved back to mine. Well, I chuckled. Yes, I'm staying, Hen. Real fast he carried me in his arms and headed for his house. I knew as soon as we get there Tanya is probably going to say something, so I just won't pay attention, but knowing me I probably will. We were almost at the house. I could see the lights of the house, so we will probably be there in 2 seconds with Edward's speed. Bella, did I hurt you at all? I didn't want to make him feel bad. Even more than I probably made him feel from what I said to him. I don't feel a single pain, it's just my knee, but it's from when I tripped earlier. I could finally see his face and he didn't look at all convinced. We made it to his house and Alice had opened the door. Alice said, "Oh Bella, are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine." Alice, just a hurt knee. Rosalie, Emmett, Jasper, and Esme went to the guest room with Tanya just in case Carlisle has to work on Bella and there's blood Oh, I really hope there isn't any blood. I'll just get sick and make things worse. I didn't have a chance to look at myself before, but then I noticed that I scraped my arm and it was bleeding, but not a lot. Edward sat me on a chair by the kitchen table. Then I noticed that Edward was looking at me in disappointment, and I looked at my arms and to find that I did have bruises on my arm and probably my legs, but I didn't want to look. My scrap just needed a little cleaning so it didn't get infected. Carlisle can't really do much with the bruises. Carlisle walked in and had his doctor bag with him. Well, let me see what is going on, Bella, he said so nicely and took a look at my arm. It doesn't look like much, so let's get started. Tanya, where is Bella? She left, Edward darling. She said she didn't want to be here anymore. If I were you I would let her be. She said something like she didn't want to see you anymore. Tanya, I can't leave her. Do you know where she headed? I believe she headed for the woods. Then I whispered to Alice so Tanya wouldn't hear. Figure out what happened. I didn't have time for any more questions. I had to find Bella before Alice's vision becomes reality, so I started to run and head for the woods. How could I be so stupid? I never should have left her alone, and especially with Tanya. When I get back, Tanya better not have been the reason for Bella leaving. I have no idea where to start. She could be anywhere in the forest, so I ran a little slower than I'm used to so I don't happen to miss her. If anything happens to her, I'm never going to forgive myself. Reading her mind would be very helpful right now, but I can't, so I will have to find her the hard way, by checking everywhere in the forest. Maybe she called her father with her phone. I have to check the forest before I do anything else. So far I couldn't find her, and what made it worse was that it was dark and she could get hurt. Just like Alice's vision, I have to keep telling myself that she will be fine. Why would she leave without telling me? All she had to do was tell me she wanted to go. Bella, where are you? I murmured to myself. I kept looking and trying to hurry. I will not lose her no matter what. I can't believe she said she didn't want to see me anymore. Something wasn't right, and I will find out. There were a lot of deer out tonight, which tempted my hunger, but no, I have to concentrate and find Bella. Then I tried to listen and see if I could hear, maybe see some footsteps. Then I heard a loud scream. And I knew it was Bella. I would know her voice anywhere, so I headed in that direction from where her scream was coming from. I ran as fast as I could. What if I was too late? No, I have to be positive. I climbed up to search from the trees and would hopefully spot her from up here, and then I saw her. I saw Bella. She was unharmed from the looks of it up here. I had to get to her before her attacker would come, so I got down from the trees and bam. I tackled her to the ground. I didn't mean to, but I was so relieved I was in time. She was trying to get away from me, but I will not let her go. He started to touch my face and then calmed down a little bit, but was still struggling. Bella, calm down. Edward, would you get off of me? You're hurting me. I was hurting her. I let go immediately, then it clicked. I was the attacker. I was still mad, though I didn't appreciate her leaving. Bella, what were you thinking? You could have been killed, and then where would I be? Bella, why didn't you tell me you wanted to go? I knew I was yelling at her, but I was so furious. Now that I found her, I demanded to know why she would leave me like that, worried out of my mind. I can see her perfectly. But I don't think she could see me and how furious I look, but that's because she's human, with human sight. Then she started crying, so I tried to calm down a little more, but she started to walk away. I started to follow her. I wasn't going to let her wander off again, so I grabbed her arm. Bella, where are you going? I kept my voice as lightly as possible and not sounding furious. I'm going far away from you as possible. Why would you do that? You know I want you by my side all the time. Bella, she made no sense at all. Why? So you can protect me all the time and always worry. No thanks, Edward. I could tell she tried to tug away from me, so I let go of my grip. I didn't want to hurt her. Where is this coming from, Bella? We need to get you back to the house and see if you're alright. OWWW. She fell down, so I went to her side and sat down next to her, but I still wanted answers. Bella, why would you leave me? It took her a few seconds to finally answer me. I didn't want to be a burden to you anymore. This is ridiculous. Where was she getting this idea from? You are never a burden to me, Bella, never. So I grabbed her and held her against my chest, trying to calm her down and let her know I want her and she is not a burden to me. Bella, do you have any idea how worried I was because you left? I was deeply worried. I rushed as fast as I could to find you. I was looking in the whole forest. I was imagining the worst, and when Alice had a vision that you were being attacked, it made me worry more, but now I realized that I must have been the one who attacked you. Edward, I'm sorry you have to waste your time protecting me, so just drop me off at Charlie's and I will leave you alone forever. That did it. I was tired of her acting like this. She is making no sense at all right now. This is just not like her. Bella Swan, I never want you to leave me alone forever. I want you to always be with me. I don't know what suddenly brought all this on, but I want you to believe me that you are not a burden to me. Edward, no I don't. I pressed my lips against hers. I knew she was trying to get out of the kiss, but I wouldn't let her, and after a few seconds her fingers twisted in my hair and mine as well. After a moment I figured she needed to breathe, so I let go. Now will you stay with me? I think I just might, she said in a teasing voice. Why don't I make it to a, yes I'm staying. So I grabbed her face again and gave a more passionate kiss, and when she needed air I just moved to her jawline and her neck. After a few seconds my lips moved back to hers. Well, she chuckled, yes, I'm staying. Then quickly I carried her in my arms and headed for the house. I'm glad all this was over, for now. I have to figure out what's really going on behind Bella's reaction. We were almost at the house, but I couldn't help but wonder if I hurt her. After all, I did accidentally tackle her. Bella, did I hurt you at all? I don't feel a single pain, it's just my knee, but it's from when I tripped earlier. We reached the house, and from listening to Alice's thoughts she didn't even ask what had really happened. She knew she only had one job, and that was to find out what happened, and she couldn't even do that. Alice opened the door and said, "Oh Bella, are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine Alice, just a hurt knee." Rosalie, Emmett, Jasper, and Esme went to the guest room with Tanya just in case Carlisle has to work on Bella and there's blood. I sat Bella on a chair in the kitchen and noticed she was hurt. She had huge bruises on her arm. She lied to me, just trying to spare my feelings. Then Carlisle was coming into the kitchen with his doctor bag. "Well, let me see what is going on Bella." He took a look at her arm. "It doesn't look like much, so let's get started." I was ignoring Carlisle working in quickly on my arm because I can't stand the sight of blood. It made me really queasy. I was focusing on Edward and what I should tell him when we're finally alone. Maybe I should tell him all the TNGs, Tanya said, but on the other hand I want a chance to handle this situation with Tanya myself. I don't know, but I'll have to figure out what to do fast because Carlisle was already done and just putting a quick bandage. I know Edward was probably going to take me home right now. It's a good thing I told Charlie that I was visiting the Cullens, otherwise he would be wondering how in the world I would get hurt at the house. I'll just tell him I tripped and scrapped myself on my way getting in the Cullens' house or something. There we go Bella, you're all finished, thanks Carlisle. No problem. Bella, Edward the first, think you should get Bella home now. Yes Carlisle, Edward sighed. I got up and Edward helped me up cautiously. I've got it Edward. He immediately let go of me, no doubt trying to make me less mad and upset than I already am. I didn't need any help getting up. I hate when he tries to help me like I'm helpless all the time. This is exactly why I want to handle the Tanya situation by myself for once without Edward. I'll be right back. Alice, can you stay with Bella real quick? Sure. Edward left real quickly and then Alice came and gave me a hug. Bye Bella, come back soon, the she whispered in my ear. When you come back talk to me, I think I know what happened and I think I could help. I looked at her in appreciation. Alice could probably help me with the problem and be a big help with Tanya. Thanks Alice. Then Edward came back. Let's go. Bye, I said to Alice and she shut the door behind us. Edward opened the passenger door for me and closed it when I got in, and then we were off to my house. It was a few minutes and Edward still hasn't talked to me. I'm truly sorry about the bruises Bella, will you forgive me? I could never be mad at Edward for too long, no matter how much I tried. Even when I had told myself I would leave him, I knew I couldn't. I don't think I'm strong enough. It was so hard to be mad at Edward. Of course I forgive you Edward the first. No, you didn't mean to. I should have been more careful. I should have been responsible. I hate when he puts himself down when it was my fault. I'm the one who didn't just tell him I wanted to leave, and I'm the one who walked out. Edward, it's my fault for walking out, not yours, but I'm the one who let you out of my sight. But it's my fault for letting Tanya I quickly covered my mouth. I told myself I would handle th. Is without his knowing of what happened today. Letting Tanya what? Nothing, it's nothing. Bella. Bella, what did Tanya say, or do for that matter? Edward, she didn't do anything. Fine, then what did she say? I threw my hands in the air and started to massage my forehead. He was never going to let it go until I tell him everything. Bella, tell me what she said. He sounded mad and demon. Ding now, but luckily we were at my house so I could be free from telling him, for as long as I can. You can go home tonight, Edward. I'm tired and I'm sure you have to get back to your family and guest. He was going to say something, but I quickly closed the door and walked up to my house. But before I got to find my keys and open the door, Charlie opened it. Oh, it was nowhere near 3 o'clock, I'm sure. He must have got home early. I turned around real quick and Edward's car wasn't there. Phew, at least he went home and I don't have to worry about explaining any more than I need to tonight. Then I looked back at Charlie. He looked angry and relieved at the same time. Bella, where have you been? Dad, I told you that I went to the Cullens today. Yeah, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning and you have school. Dad, it's all right. I was with the Cullens the whole time. I lied. I'm fine. I'm tired, and I want to get as much sleep as I can tonight so I can go to school. Fine, but you better not be that lat. Again, or else you won't be going anywhere for a long time. Fine, good night. I started to walk up the stairs. What happened to your arm? Why? I turned around and answered his question quickly. I fell down and scraped my arm. Oh. I kept walking up the stairs knowing he wouldn't question that answer because he knew how clumsy I was. I opened my door and closed it behind me and looked at my bed, and there Edward was. Will this night ever end? This was definitely not my night. I didn't pay any attention to him until I was in my pajamas and more comfortable. So I went to the bathroom and put pajama pants and a t-shirt on. Brushed my teeth, and charged my phone. Then I went and sat on my bed waiting for more questions. I waited for a few seconds before he would start. So, are you going to tell me? Edward, it doesn't matter. It matters to me. I need to know, what did Tanya say? Okay, now I'm really tired and grumpy, so I might as well just tell him and ask Alice tomorrow for help some other way. Although it was hard for me to relive what Tanya had said to me, they were hurtful words. Well, basically, all she said was, I started to get choked up. Those words were just so hard for me to repeat right now, and then tears started flood down my cheek. Great, more crying. Then Edward grabbed me and pulled me up against his chest and wiped my tears off my face. Bella, never mind, you don't have to tell me, just go to sleep. No, Edward, just hold on. I wiped the rest of my tears and tried again. She told me that I was a burden to you and I should basically leave you and let you be with someone your own species. Then she told me how hard it must be for you to be with me. She said how hard it was for you to not fully kiss me, watch me all the time, and how I wasn't your speed. I waited to see what he said, but all I could hear was a deep growl that he made in his chest. Are you mad, Edward? Mad at you? No, furious with her. Yes. I'm sorry, Edward. I mean, I know she is your dear's old friend, so, for all the time she is here, I will let you and your family be with her, and I'll just wait until she is gone so I don't cause more drama. Bella, that is absolutely ridiculous. You don't have to exclude yourself away from my family and I just because she can't get over herself. Yes, she is my friend, but she has no right to say all those things to you. Don't worry, I will talk to her and make things more clear to her. I just nodded. I just wanted to go to sleep, so he held on to me and sang me my lullaby, and I fell asleep until it was time to go to school. I was still tired when I woke up to get ready for school. I only slept for a few hours, and when I woke up I noticed Edward wasn't there when I woke up this morning. I wonder where he is. Usually he's here when I wake up. I hurried up on getting ready so I could get to the school and see if he was even going to show up today. As soon as I was ready, I grabbed a granola bar, said bye to Charlie, and went to my car. When I was driving, I was trying to think what I should say to him. I really didn't want to talk about what happened yesterday. I just wanted to enjoy myself with Edward and be Tanya free. I got to the school's parking lot and parked my car, and when I got out I noticed Edward leaning against his Volvo waiting for me. I slowly walked to him, unaware what the topic of our conversations is going to be today. When I Nally reached him. He grabbed my hand and we walked to meet Alice. Did you sleep okay? He asked. Well, at least it wasn't referring to Tanya. Yes, I slept fine. We reached Alice and she seemed very cheery as most days. Hi Bella. Hey Alice. She joined us and we all walked in the hallway until Alice reached her class. I'll talk to you at lunch, Bella. Okay, great. Alice is sure to bring it up. I was definitely going dread lunchtime. When class started, Edward didn't say anything to me. Part of me was happy and then part of me was not. I didn't want him to ignore me completely, and that's exactly what he seemed to be doing through all our classes. It was 2 minutes before the bell rang. For lunch all we were doing was a partner worksheet. That was the only time he really talked to me. Edward and I finished early and so I decided to break his silence and ask him a question before lunch. Edward, where were you this morning? I asked nicely, not trying to sound too demanding. I went back to the house and discussed some things. I didn't want him to say anything further than that, so I didn't even ask what he discussed. By then the bell rang. Edward grabbed my hand again and we went to lunch. And we got into the cafeteria. We just headed to our usual table. I didn't really sit with my other friends anymore. Instead I sit at the Cullen's table with Edward. I didn't see Jasper, Emmett, or Rosal. I.e. today, so that must mean they're not here today because I usually see them, or at least in the parking lot in the morning. Alice quickly came to the table and grabbed a seat right next to me. Oh boy. So, Bella, what time are you coming today? Quote, I wasn't aware that I was coming today, I said while looking at Edward. Then Edward finally spoke. Alice, why can't you simply keep your mouth shut? Because knowing you wouldn't have asked her until last minute and then think about it and change your mind and have her not come. It needs to be done, Edward. I couldn't believe Edward was quiet all day because he was trying to find a way to ask me to go back to his house. Then I barged in on the conversation. What needs to be done? I asked. They didn't say anything. Oh, now they're silent. Quote, I talked to Tanya this morning and she said she wanted to apologize for what she said and she said she would leave the house, Edward told me. Oh no, there is no way I'm going near her right now, not after last night. I really don't feel like going to talk to Tanya, Edward. And that's fine, she doesn't deserve to be forgiven anyway. Then Alice butted in, although you don't want to talk to her, Bella, you should still come over. So Alice, Edward snarled. That's it, and couldn't take this anymore. I got up in a huff and went to join my friends at their table. Luckily it hasn't been long since I have ked to them, otherwise they might have not welcomed me. I didn't want to hear any more of Edward and Alice's talk. I was trying to listen to my friends' conversation and it wasn't much except talk about prom. I looked back at Edward and Alice looked like she was arguing at him and he looked really angry at her. Then he turned and looked at me apologetically. I turned away. After listening to a long boring talk about prom, the bell rang. For the rest of the day I just ignored Edward, and he didn't even bother to talk to me. Finally, school was over and I could go home. I never thought I would be happy to go home like I had today. Before I could get in my car, Edward grabbed my elbow. Bella, wait, he said like he was upset. I'm sorry I even considered asking you to go back to my house. I just thought it would be right for her to apologize. I'm not mad at you for considering it, Edward, and it's okay if she wants to apologize. It's just, I was still trying to get over what happened last night. Although maybe I should let her apologize if she really wants to. Bella, you don't have to if you don't want to. She doesn't even have the right to even apologize for what she did, not even close. Edward, tell you what, let me drive home and then we'll talk more, just meet me there. That's fine. Before I got back in the truck he grabbed my waist and pulled me closer till his lips were on mine and we had a quick, nice, and passionate kiss. After that I got in my truck and drove home, and when I was driving I was thinking of what I should do. On the one hand I felt like I shouldn't even let Tanya near me. On the other hand, part of me wanted to hear what she has to say, even though the last time I listened it ended up being bad. I never wanted Tanya to hate me and I never wanted to hate Tanya. She was Edward's longtime friend and I would have wanted nothing more than to be her friend as well. Although when Tanya said those words it made me feel bad because it was true. So I don't know if I can trust her anymore, and I barely know her. I finally reached my house and I saw Edward's car. Charlie wasn't home because he was still working late. When I went up to my room, Edward was there sitting on my bed. I quickly put my backpack down, went to the bathroom to freshen up, and went back to my room. I went to sit next to Edward and he grabbed me and pulled me against his chest. We just sat there for a few seconds in each other's arms. Then I had finally made a decision. Edward, I want to go to your house, and see what Tanya has to say. Bella, are you sure? Yes, I'm going to. Give her a chance and hear what she has to say. Maybe she said those things because she was in shock of what had happened and didn't really know how to handle that Edward and I were together. I looked up at Edward's face and he looked unconvinced that I really wanted to hear what she had to say. Alright, if that's what you want. It is. It also gives me a chance to talk to Alice. I got up, grabbed Edward's hand, and we headed down the stairs. We headed towards his car. Of course, he never likes my car because he says it goes too slow. He opened the passenger door for me and I got in. Then he shut the door and got behind the wheel and started to drive to his house. My stomach was feeling sick. What was I going to say to Tanya? Should I let her know how she hurt my feelings? Should I just let her do all the talking? I really wanted to befriend Tanya because she was Edward's friend. I didn't want her to hate me. I don't know what to do. You don't have to do this, Bella, he said while grabbing my hand and holding it for support. I want to be friends with Tanya, Edward. Then I pulled my hand away. I want us to be friends and not enemies, he responded in a low whisper and I couldn't really hear it, but it sounded like he said, let's hope. We finally reached his house and I got more nervous because now was the time to face Tanya. We headed up to the door and he opened it for me. I walked in and Edward led me to the living room and Tanya was there. Great, wow, she actually looked like she was sorry. I'm shocked. Bella, she must really not remember my name since she always has trouble with it, and it's not even a hard name to forget. I'm really sorry, I never wanted to hurt your feelings. It's just that I was shocked to see a human with Edward and I'm just not used to human feelings, so, will you forgive me? Can we be friends? She must not apologize often because it seemed hard for her to do. Tanya, I honestly must say that it will take me a while to forgive and forget. But we can sure try to be friends. I really meant what I said. I mean, it's probably going to take a while to forget what she did, but I have no problem trying to befriend her. That's fine, Bella. I understand, but if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go and hunt before I get really thirsty, Tanya said. Of course, Tanya, Edward saw Ed excusing her and she left in a quick second. That went well. Ed. Ward said, still looking out the window, at nothing. Oh, Bella. You're here, good, Alice said happily. Yeah, I said unsatisfied. I wonder what Alice has been dying to talk to me about. Edward, I'm going to take Bella upstairs, is that okay? Edward didn't look worried, he looked calm. Yes, it's okay, I just read Tanya's mind and she won't be back for a while, but Alice, when she's back I'm going to need Bella with me. That's fine, she said quickly, and then she grabbed my arm and we headed up to her room, I think. I didn't even argue because I completely trust Alice. She's like a sister to me and at least somebody I can trust. This is my room, Bella. I was amazed. Wow, Alice's room was as big as Edward's except more girly and pink. Okay, come Bella, she grabbed my hand and we sat on her couch. Okay Bella, let's get down to business now. What we should do about Tanya is. I immediately stopped her right there. Alice, wait. You're absolutely right, we have to wait for everyone else. Who is everyone else, Alice? Then I heard a knock and here comes Emmett, Jasper, and Rosalie. Why is Rosalie here? She can't stand me. Hey, are we late for the discussion? Emmett said. No, you're just in time, Alice said joyously. Can someone please tell me what's going on? They all sat down on Alice's little couches that she has and Alice started to speak. Well, I don't know if Edward told you or not, Bella, but we don't like Tanya at all. Well, most of us don't anyway. Jasper seems to think that she is a good person for some reason. She rolled her eyes. I just happen to think she has goodness inside her and she hasn't done anything to us that was harmful or rude. That's because she's sneaky and you weren't around her all the time, Alice said with attitude. I decided to interrupt their little dispute. Can we all just wait a second and tell me what the purpose of us being here talking about Tanya behind her back and Edward's Well, I'm here because she is annoying and conniving, Alice said. I am here because she's the Wicked Witch of the West and 100% evil, Emmett said. I'm here because Alice told me to, or else she won't speak to me ever again, and I love her too much for her not to speak to me, Jasper said sweetly. I waited to see what Rosalie would say if she was going to say anything. I'm here because Edward deserves more than Tanya, and I'd rather see him be with you, Bella, Rosalie said considerably. Anyways, Bella, we all want you to know that we're on your side and we're going to make sure Tanya doesn't try to do anything tricky to you. We want her gone, and we want her gone now, Alice said. That's all very considerate of you guys, but Tanya already apologized and she seemed really sincere, so I don't think there's anything to worry about, and I just want to be friends with Tanya, I explained. That's all. Very nice of you, Bella, but evidently she's nothing but a no-good-for-nothing, downright sneaky, sly, vicious, heartless vampire that will probably stop at nothing to make sure you and Edward break up, Emmett said with anger. That's true, Rosalie said, agreeing to Emmett's statement about Tanya. I just don't want to cause more anger in Tanya than there already is. I said. Well, we are all positively sure that she is still up to something, Bella. She doesn't like you at all, and the reason for that is because you have something she never got to have, and that's Edward. Tanya is so used to getting everything she wants, and when she saw that you, a human, got what she never had, she went off the high rocker and is out to destroy your relationship with Edward. So all we offer is to be with you throughout the time she is here and offer our assistance if you need anything, and in the meantime we're going to find a way to get her out of the house. Well, I don't know, you guys, I mean, it's all very considerate, but I think I will be fine. I mean, she's only staying for what? A few more days, right? I asked them. Try few more weeks, Emmett said. Oh, I replied. We just don't want you to get hurt. Again, you have made Edward very happy since you guys have been together, and we are all very grateful for you coming into his life, right everyone? Alice asked. Quote, yeah, he can't stop talking about you, and I gotta admit it's getting annoying, but I'm glad he's happy, Emmett said. Jasper. Alice asked. Definitely. Rose. Absolutely. I was shocked Rosalie was actually happy that it was me instead of Tanya. They preferred him to be with a human instead of his own species. That really means a lot to me. Tell you guys what, I am going to go back downstairs and be with Edward, and I am going to try to be friends with Tanya. You guys can do whatever you want to get her out of your house. It's not my house and you guys want her out, and it's not my place to tell you no. Although when it comes to you guys helping me start something with Tanya, I have to draw the line. I just want to see if we can become good friends, and if not, at least good acquaintances. I really do believe that she won't try to get rid of me anymore. She knows how Edward feels about her trying to get rid of me. All of you basically said so yourselves that she respects and loves Edward. So I think I'll be fine, and if I do need your help I will let you know. I doubt it, but if it comes to that I will ask. Okay. Then they all said at the same time, fine, in a disappointing tone and at the same time a shocked tone. They must be shocked that I stood up to them to tell them that I will not tolerate messing with Tanya right now. We all will agree not to help you unless you ask anything, and why thing at all, Bella, you just ask, but keep your eye open and don't fall for anything she says. Alice told me. All right, I won't, I replied. Is Edward downstairs? Not right now. I had a vision earlier that he went to go talk to Carlisle at the hospital, but he is going to be back before Tanya gets back. He wants you to always be with him. I don't want that though. I don't want him thinking that he always has to watch me, and that's something that I discussed with him. I know, Alice admitted. Wait, how did you know what we discussed? I saw a vision of you telling him what Tanya said, and then I told Jasper, Rosalie, and Emmett, and they had enough of her games, and that's what brought us to our conversation. Thanks for eavesdropping, Alice, I said sarcastically. Well, I figured you wouldn't tell me, so I kept an eye on you, she said. Then Alice stood still and didn't say anything, and staring off into a distance. I bet she's having a vision. Okay, time to go downstairs. EDW. Art is going to be back in a few seconds, she said. We all started walking down the stairs, and soon enough he was there. He came in and grabbed me by the waist. Were you okay? Yes, I was completely fine with everyone. What did you guys do? He asked suspiciously. Well, we just talked about Alice interrupted thankfully, I can't really lie to good or too long to Edward or anybody for that matter. We all just basically sat in my room and Bella and I did all the talking. About fashion and how she should come over one day and I can do a makeover on her. She's going to be my latest project, she said. Alice, she's only project, Emmett said. Rosalie nudged him in the stomach. Edward sighed unconvinced. Suddenly Edward held me tighter and I knew that Tanya was almost here. Now it's time to try to be friends, here we go. I can't believe Tanya would say something so ridiculous and out of line. I can't wait to talk to her right now. I still feel kind of bad for leaving Bella without letting her know. I'm sure she will be fine as long as she wasn't around Tanya. I finally reached my house and now I can give Tanya a piece of my mind. I opened the door and Tanya wasn't in sight, so there was only one way to get her over here. Tanya, I yelled in fury. She came down slowly and all innocent. Yes, Edward darling. Don't call me that, Tanya. How could you tell Bella all those idiotic things? Edward, what's going on? Esme said worryingly. Tanya needs to explain to me why she basically told Bella that she was a burden to me and to leave me. Tanya, is this true? Esme asked her in shock. I don't know what you're talking about, Edward. Tanya, I don't have time for this. I know you know what I'm talking about. Now why did you do it? Edward, please calm down, there must be a reason behind this, Esme said, trying to calm me down. Esme, she doesn't deserve your pity right now, not after what she's done. You know what, you two need to settle this quick, she said while pointing at us and surprisingly sounding a little irritated, because you have school to go to and I'm sure Bella is wondering where you are. I'll be upstairs letting you two settle this. Esme said, started to sound nice again. I waited for Esme to get upstairs to continue the conversation. I didn't want to upset her. As soon as she got upstairs in her room, I was about to tell Tanya something else, but she beat me to it. Alright, I said it because I was shocked to see you with a human and I didn't really want to hurt her feelings. I figured it was hard for you to be with her. So I just wanted her to know how she is basically hurting you, Edward, and I don't like seeing you hurt. I care too much for you. Tanya said, seeming a little unconvincing. Tanya, let me tell you something. It's only hard because I have to be very careful, but other than that there is nothing hard about it. Bella is the best thing that has happened to me and I have enjoyed every day with her. I didn't know that. Maybe I should just apologize. I think that would be wise, but at the same time you don't really deserve the right to apologize. I know that, Edward, but I would like to make it right. Fine, I'll try to get Bella over here, but don't expect her to come, alright? As soon as our little conversation was done, I quickly got in my car and went to school. I had to hurry so I can be there for her. Thank goodness for my speed, I can make it in time. I eventually made it there, and luckily before Bella got here, I got out and just leaned against my car waiting for her. How am I going to ask her to come back to my house after what happened? Maybe I shouldn't even ask her and just let her be. Maybe I should just have her not go. Then I saw her parking her car in the parking lot. She got out and started walking towards me, but a little slower than usual. I have decided not to even bring up the topic of Tanya today. I'm just going to let her be. She didn't look okay, so I decided to ask her if she slept okay. Did you sleep okay? I waited for her response. Yes. I slept fine. We walked toward Alice and I just hoped that she wouldn't bring anything up that has to deal with Tanya. Hi Bella. Hey Alice. Alice joined Bella and me while we walked in the hallway, and surprisingly Alice didn't say a word about anything that happened last night. I'll talk to Bella, okay. I knew it, Alice was definitely going to bring it up, great. When class started I didn't say anything to Bella, not wanting to make her uncomfortable or irritated. The only time I talked to her was when we had to do our partner worksheet, but other than that I just kept quiet. It was hard for me to not talk to her. Edward, where were you this morning? She finally was going to talk to me. I went to the house to discuss some things. I didn't want to tell her I went to talk to Tanya because that would just make her angrier than she probably is. The bell finally rang, so I grabbed her hand and we went off to lunch. We headed for our table. I'm still hoping that Alice wouldn't bring anything up about Tanya. I wonder why Emmett, Jasper, and Rosalie decided to stay out of school today. Well, I can't worry about that right now. I have to focus on Bella right now. So Bella, what time are you coming over today? Alice asked. I guess I didn't hope hard enough. I wasn't aware that I was coming today, Bella said looking at me. I can't believe Alice would be. Ring this up. Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised she is Alice after all. Alice, why can't you simply keep your mouth shut? Because knowing you, you wouldn't have even have asked her until last min. You'd and then think about it and change your mind and have her not come. It needs to be done, Edward. What needs to be done? Alice and I both were silent until I decided to end that silence and tell Bella what happened. I talked to Tanya this morning and she said she wanted to apologize for what she said and she said she would leave the house. I really don't feel like going to talk to Tanya, Edward. And that's fine, she doesn't deserve to be forgiven anyway. Then Alice butted in, as always, although you don't want to talk to her, Bella, you should still come over. So. Alice, I snarled. Then Bella got up in a huff and left our table. Thanks, Alice, I said sarcastically. Edward, Tanya needs to apologize for talking to Bella that way. Bella needs to come tonight. Alice, Tanya doesn't even RVE the chance to apologize, and if Bella doesn't want to go then I will not make her go. Edward, sometimes you may think you're doing what's right, but Alice's voice drifted off as I decided not to listen to her anymore. I am so angry at Alice right now, I don't want to hear any of her reasons or statements. I watched Bella and after a few seconds she looked at me and I was really sorry for my sister bringing Tanya up. I was also sorry that I didn't just tell her what happened in the first place. The bell rang and for the entire day Bella had no desire to talk to me, which was understandable. I just let her be for the rest of school, and after school I would try to talk to her. When school was over I headed for Bella before she got into her truck, so I grabbed her elbow. Bella, wait, I'm so RRY I even considered asking you to go back to my house. I just thought it would be right for her to apologize, I said, waiting for her response. I'm not mad at you for considering it, Edward, and it's okay. Why, if she wants to apologize, it's just, I was still trying to get over what happened last night, although maybe I should let her apologize if she really wants to. Bella, you don't have to if you don't and to, she doesn't even have the right to even apologize for what she did, not even close. Edward, tell you what, let me drive home and then we'll talk more, just meet me there. That's fine, but before I would let her get into her truck I grabbed her waist and I pulled her close to me and bent down and gave her a kiss. It was a quick kiss, but it was a nice passionate kiss. As soon as she got into her truck I headed for my car and drove to her house. Luckily Charlie was working late again. I went through her window and waited for her to come home. I'm just going to hold her and comfort her when she comes. After a few minutes I heard her come through the door and up the stairs. She opened the door and put her backpack down and it looked as if she headed to the restroom real quick. She came back after a few seconds and sat next to me on her bed. I grabbed her and pulled her to my chest so she knows she can relax and that I'm not going to pressure her. Edward, I want to go to your house and see what Tanya has to say. Bella, are you sure? Yes, I'm going to give her a chance and hear what she has to say. All right, if that's what you want. It is. She got up and grabbed my hand and we headed downstairs. We headed towards my car and I opened the passenger's door for her. I closed the door, got behind the wheel and started to drive. I noticed Bella looked a little worried, so I grabbed her hand to calm her down. You don't have to do this, Bella. I want to be friends with Tanya, Edward. Then she pulled her hand away. I want us to be friends and not enemies. Let's hope, I said in a low whisper. When we reached my house we got in and I could hear Tanya's thoughts and she was in the living room. So when we got in I led Bella to the living room to hear her apology. LLA, I'm really sorry, I never wanted to hurt your feelings, it's just that I was shocked to see a human with Edward and I'm just not used to human feelings, so, will you forgive me? Can we be friends? She was not very convincing, although when I tried to read her mind she was thinking what she was saying, something was up and I was going to find out. Tanya, I honestly must say that it will take me a while to forgive and forget, but we can sure try to be friends, Bella said. That's fine, Bella, I understand, but if you'll excuse me I'm going to go and hunt before I get really thirsty, Tanya said. Quote, of course Tanya, I said, excusing her. That went well. I didn't really pay attention to what Bella said because I was trying to figure out where Tanya was. Was all I could say. Oh Bella. You. Here, good, Alice said as I focused back to Bella. Yeah, Bella said sounding a little unsatisfied. Edward, I'm going to take Bella upstairs, is that okay? Yes, it's okay. I just read Tanya's mind and she won't be back for a while, but Alice, when she's back I'm going to need Bella with me. That's fine, Alice said real fast. Alice grabbed Bella's hand and I left the house for a while. I knew I could trust Alice to protect Bella, just in case. I headed toward the middle of the forest because when I tapped into Tanya's mind she was finding a bunch of deer. The middle of the forest is the one place the deer are around most. I was searching for her, trying to find her before she goes back to the house. I was a little unconvinced that she meant what she said. I had to make sure she wouldn't say anything to Bella like that again. Finally I spotted her, finishing off the deer she had lying on the ground. Tanya, we need to talk, I told her. What do we need to talk about? Well, I just want to mock. Sure you won't tell Bella any nonsense about me not wanting her back at the house? You sounded a little unconvincing. Edward, she chuckled, I promise that I will not tell Bella any more nonsense about you not wanting her. I looked at her unconvinced, so I read her mind. Edward the first, no, you're reading my mind, and like I said, I promise I won't tell Bella any more nonsense about you not wanting her, Tanya said. Fine, I just wanted to make sure you were serious. I was about to turn and go back, but she stopped me by placing her hand on my chest. Edward the first, just want you to know that I have never given up on us. I was speechless because I couldn't believe she had the nerve to tell me that after all that she did. Tanya, there never was an S, and never will be, I said while removing her hand. You don't know that for sure, Edward. Bella could change her mind about you and turn on you. Tanya, she would never do that. Besides, you don't know her like I do. I know that she's human and they tend to change their minds frequently, especially in relationships. I know that's a good possibility that she might think I'm a monster and leave me, Tanya, but she's different than most humans. Look, I just don't want you getting hurt. Edward the first have feelings for you that will not change. I will be here just in case something like that shall ever occur. Why was she saying all this stuff? I can't let her get to me. I will not let her fill my mind with thoughts that are meant for me to leave Bella. Tanya, stop telling me these things. I will not fall for it because I know Bella a lot more than you do. Alright, but don't say I didn't warn you. Out of curiosity I had to ask, by the way, when are you leaving? Maybe 2 more weeks. Why? Well, I'm not done sightseeing, catching up with your family, and other stuff. I got suspicious. What do you mean by other stuff, Tanya? Edward the first, you believe that is my business. You don't tell me what your week's plan is, do you? I was about to read her mind until she said something. I'm not thinking of what you're looking for, Edward, so you're not going to find it by reading my mind. Well then I must go. I need to get Bella. Okay, just think about what I said. Not likely. Then I ran off, but before I went back home I headed for Carlisle at the hospital. I got to the hospital in no time. I just headed for Carlisle's office checking if he's in there. He was. In his office. He was at his desk completing papers or something. I apologize, Carlisle, but I need to talk to you. No need to apologize, Edward. He put his paper and pen down. What do you need to talk about? I sat down on a chair and began. Well, it's not much, it's just I don't know what to do with Tanya. She has this confused fixation in her mind that we belong together. I told her that Bella is the one I belong with, but she doesn't seem to process that in her mind. Well, I think you should relax first. I know I just wanted to get this off my chest and tell you rather than the big mouths that live with us. I just don't want to tell Bella that Tanya has deep feelings for me and get her more upset. Well, I think you should do what's right, Edward, you always do. I know that, and what I feel I should do is make sure that Bella is happy because her happiness is what matters to me. I know, son, and that is what makes you a good person. He chuckled. Well, good vampire. I chuckled as well, and after I finished talking to Carlisle I headed back home. I hope Alice didn't do or say anything ridiculous. I also hoped Bella was still fine and not wanting to leave again. I would definitely be upset if Alice hurt Bella like that. I trust Alice enough to know that she wouldn't do anything like that, I hope. When I reached the house I opened the door and everyone was already downstairs. As Bella didn't look like she wanted to leave right away. I came to where Bella was standing and grabbed her waist. Were you okay? Yes, I was completely fine with everyone. I was a little suspicious. What did you guys do? Well, we just talked about. Alice interrupted. We all just basically sat in my room and Bella and I did all the talking, about fashion and how she should come over one day and I can do a makeover on her. She's going to be my latest project. Alice, she's only project, Emmett said. I noticed Rosalie nudged him in the stomach. I said unconvinced. I held Bella tight because Tanya was almost here and I knew there was most likely going to be trouble, but what kind of trouble? BPOV. As Edward held me I was preparing for Tanya to come through that door and sure enough. The door opened and closed in a second. I blinked once and Tanya was already with us. I'll be right back, Tanya said making her way upstairs. She sounded suspicious, no, mischievous. Then Emmett interrupted. Take your time, take all the time you need, seconds, minutes, days, weeks. Then he started to prolong the words, months, years, we don't really care, trust me. Tanya just looked at him devilish why and hissed at him before going all the way upstairs. Emmett hissed back at her and when she was finally upstairs he said something under his breath which sounded like wicked bitch. I'm going to take Bella home now, Edward said, interrupting my thoughts. Wait, he wants to leave now. Why? He just got back from wherever he was. But Edward the first want to spend some time with Bella and, perhaps another time Alice, he snarled. He grabbed my arm gently but with enough force to make me move with him. We reached his Volvo and he opened the door for me like he usually does but slammed it hard, which is what he never does. What's his problem? He came back content but ever since, of course whenever is going on has to do with Tanya. Lately everything has to do with Tanya. Gosh, I just feel like I need tea. Get away with all of this drama with her but not unless Edward comes with me. As we were driving home we didn't say anything to each other. I decided to let him think to himself for a while. Maybe that's what he needs. When we pulled up to my street I noticed Charlie was home. That's weird, I thought he was supposed to be working late again. I decided to just let him be in his train of thought and just go inside the house. As I closed the door I turned around to see Edward right by me. He was backing into me to the point where I was leaning on the Volvo. He put both of his hands on either side of me touching the Volvo and looked like he was in some sort of pain. What's wrong? I asked, touching his cheek. He opened his eyes. I'm sorry for the way I acted back there, it's just I was a little frustrated. I didn't want to ask him what if, so instead I just said, it's okay. No, it's not okay, that was very inexcusable and I shouldn't have slammed the door or ignored you. He looked really upset and I couldn't stand to see him upset like this. Come here, I said as I pulled myself to him as well as him leaning in, and with that our lips met. It started off slow but then got a little more urgent. His hands brought themselves to my hair and his fingers twisting in my hair. My hands were doing the same to his hair. After a few seconds we parted and I gasped for air. He chuckled, I'd bet. Get going, I have to go take care of a few things. Okay, will you come back later when Charlie's asleep? Of course, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, he smiled. I smiled and walked up to my say and was turning around to wave goodbye to him. He was nowhere inside his side. I opened and closed the door to find Charlie, getting ready to leave. Hey Dad, what are you doing home so early for? It's only, I looked at the clock, 5:30. Well, today they decided to let me off early and since today is one of the big games so I am going over to see Billy and watch it with him. Do you want to come? No thanks, I think I'll just hang out here, but if I decide to go I'll just drive myself. Okay, sure. I turned around heading for the stairs. Hey Bells. Yay Dad. Billy says Jacob really misses you. I sighed. I know Dad. With that I went up to my room. I closed my door and lay on my bed. I hate when he brings up the fact that I haven't seen Jake in a while. I remember when I found out he was a werewolf and he was so happy when he didn't have to hide that from me. He told me about the whole wolf pack and how I can't tell anyone. Most of all he told me about the treaty between the vampires and the werewolves. I thought it was stupid to have that. I don't see why they can't just get along well, at least with the Cullens. They're the only vampires I know who wouldn't hurt anyone. I will never forget when I got home to find Edward in my room angry because Alice had told him she couldn't see me in her visions, so he rushed back He said he would have gotten sooner but Alice was a little hunting first to realize she couldn't see me. Ever since then he said he didn't feel it was safe to be with werewolves. That only happened a month ago. I haven't seen Jake since and I wish I had an opportunity to see. Boy am I stupid. I got up, rushed downstairs and headed to go see Jake. I know Edward will be mad but I have to see Jake, he's one of my best friends. I told Edward that he doesn't need to worry about me because Jake wouldn't hurt me. He said that if he crosses the treaty line then there would be war with the werewolves. So I told him if I ever do go to see them he better not dare cross the line to come and get me. Now that I think of it, it all makes sense why Edward has kept me busy for a while. So I wouldn't see Jake. I'll have to talk to him when I get back. I parked my car and before I could get close to knocking, Jake opened the door and ran to give me a hug. Bella, where the hell have you been? I've missed you. Jake can't breathe. He let go of me. Oops, sorry. I'm sorry I haven't seen you but someone has been keeping me occupied for a while. I had a feeling it was him, he growled. Jake, don't start to, I already get enough of werewolves are dangerous, from I don't need to hear vampires are dangerous, from you too, I said, trying to mock both of their voices. Fine, I won't say that, at least for today, he said, smiling. I smiled. Gosh, I have missed you, I said, giving him another hug. We went inside his house to find Billy and Charlie hooked to the TV screen. Hey Dad. He turned to face me. Hey Bells, I am glad you could come. Then he turned back to the screen. Hey Bella, Billy said and turned back to the screen as well. Jacob started to laugh and said, I can see we're not wanted, come with me. I followed Jacob outside and we went to sit on a bank by the big tree we always used to sit by. We both sat down and began to talk. So how have you been, Jake? I've been pretty good, just hanging out with the pack and wondering when you would come. I am truly sorry, Jake, I would have visited but especially right now I have been having problems. What kind of problems? I began to tell Jake the whole story from the beginning, from when I met Edward Pa Rents to the point of today, and every second Jake just seemed to get angrier. And that's how I ended up here today. I can't believe he would be so naive to see how evil she is. Well, remember, she did apologize and I'm going to try to be nice to her as well, but I think he knows what she is up to. Bella, you have got to be kidding me, you're actually going to believe her apologizing crap and you're going to be nice to her. I know, Jake, but she's only going to be here for a few more weeks unfortunately, so I am just going to be the bigger person. Bella, I think you're being ridiculous, she's a vampire. You don't have time to be the bigger person, she's not a human who is only capable of hurting you mentally, she can hurt you physically. You need to be on your guard. From what I remember you telling me, she told you all that crap about your bloodsucker and you went out to the woods eventually getting hurt. What makes you think she isn't going to pull that shit again? I knew Jake was right, I know, but, and then came the tears. Jake came to my side and held me to his chest. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you, it's just I don't want to see you get hurt by one of them. I know you always try to see the good in people, Bella, which is one of the things I love about you, but you can't be so naive to not see what she is up to. I know you're right, it's just that I wanted to believe that she really didn't want to pull Edward and me away. I mean, she has known him much longer than I have and she is more beautiful, she has more of a fair chance. Bella, stop. If he is as stupid as I think he is and he ever chooses her versus you, always know that you're welcomed here. But because I care for you too much, I hope, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I hope he chooses you if it ever came down to that. I knew those were tough words for Jake to say because he cares for me so much. I mean, I love Jake, but I'm in love with Edward. It's always been Edward. Thanks, Jake, for this talk, it means a lot to me. No problem. Hey, if I remember correctly, you said that Alice and them offered to help make Tanya jealous or get her far away from her or something, right? Yay. Well, maybe you I'll take her up on that offer. I don't know, Jake. Come on, you know you want her out of here, and I'm sure from what you have told me Edward wants her gone too, so you might as well have a little fun getting her away from here. I guess you're right. I'm always right, he said cockily. I stood up and headed towards my truck, but before I got in I had to thank Jake again. Thanks, Jake, for listening and telling me what I should do. Yay, well, as much as I hate them, I seem to hate this Tanya more. I know how you feel about him, and as much as I wish you had the same feelings for me. I want you to be happy. I gave Jake a big hug and whispered in his ear, "You will always have a special place in my heart," and with that I said goodbye and went back home. I ended up crying on my way back because I couldn't stand the thought of Edward choosing Tanya. I also couldn't stand seeing the pain and all the force it took for Jake to say those words. I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I guess mission, get Tanya away from here, is a go. As I hold on to Bella signaling her to expect Tanya to come, I was trying to get inside Tanya's head to see what she was up to. After our last encounter I didn't trust her for one bit. She is too possessive even though I wasn't hers, but from what she says she intends to. I'm not going to let that happen. Suddenly the door opened and Tanya came in looking very mischievous. I had to get in her mind, but she is too occupied guarding it. I need her to be distracted. I'll be right back, she said. Then Emmett interrupted her as she was heading upstairs. Finally Emmett interruptions are put into good use. I finally was able to tap into her mind. This big oaf thinks he's funny. Take your time, take all the time you need, seconds, minutes, days, weeks, years, we don't really care, trust me. She hissed at him and went upstairs quickly. It was easy to tap into her mind seeing as I am able to hear her thoughts right now. Let's see, blue, no black, no red, yes this one should be good and it's lacy too, oh no I don't think so Tanya. I'm going to take Bella home now. But Edward the first want to spend some time with Bella and, perhaps another time Alice, I snarled. You better be taking her home for a good reason Edward, oh so help me. I stopped listening to Alice's thoughts and got Bella out of there as fast as I could. I got Bella into the car, slammed the door, got in the driver's seat and drove. I cannot believe that Tanya would even do that. No, you know what, I can believe that she would do that. I know I shouldn't have taken my anger on Bella by ignoring her right now, but I need to think. What should I do? I need Tanya away from her before she does something stupid and hurts Bella. We finally made it to her house and Charlie was there. I stopped the car and tried to get a hold of myself. Before I knew it, Bella got out of the car, so I got behind her so I could talk to her. I was backing into her to the point where she was leaning on the Volvo. I put both of my hands on either side of her, touching the Volvo, and closed my eyes. What's wrong? She asked, touching my cheek. I opened my eyes. I'm sorry for the way I acted back there, it's just I was a little frustrated. It's okay. No, it's not okay, that was very inexcusable and I shouldn't have slammed the door or ignored you. Come here, she said as she pulled herself to me as well as me leaning in, and with that our lips met. It started off slow but then got a little more urgent. Her hands brought themselves to my hair and her fingers twisting in my hair. My hands were doing the same to her hair. After a few seconds I knew she needed air, so I stopped. I chuckled, I'd better get going, I have to go take care of a few things. Okay, will you come back later when Charlie's asleep? Of course, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, I smiled. As I let her walk to her house, I already left, hurrying to get back home and finish this once and for all. As soon as I made it to my house, I immediately went in without taking my time. I was met not with Tanya but a small little pixie. What? You know what? Tell me what's going on. Why did you feel the need to get Bella out of her just as Tanya came? Alice, not right now, I have to see Tanya. Whoa, hold on there, you have to see Tanya. Edward, you don't have to see her, it's only if you want to. Do you want to be with her, Edward, instead of Bella? Why would you do that? I mean, what about what she's done? What about B? Alice, you're going into conclusions too fast, just calm down. I cut her off. I need to talk to Tanya. Because I'm going to tell her to get the hell out of here. Well, make her get the hell out of here. Oh, well, it's about time you did, Emmett interrupted. I mean, we all have been trying to get her to go, but she won't listen to us. Well, thanks for your help, you guys, but I think I'm the one she needs to hear it from, I said. Okay, they both said as I went upstairs to Tanya's room. Oh, Edward, it's me. CE to see you. What's her face? I took her home. You finally realized that she wasn't good for you. I'm proud of you, Eddie. I took her home because I didn't want her to see you when you were going to try to seduce me. Well, it's not like I was going to do that in front of her. I was merely going to call you to come help me with something or just try Tom get you in my room, she said all too proudly with her plan. Tanya, I want you out, I want you away from here and to not come back and interfere with me and my family again, so pack your things and get the hell out of here. Oh Eddie, you don't mean that, she said, putting her arms around my neck. Yes I do, you have no idea how much I mean what I just said, I said while prying her hands off of me. Why would you do that to your best friend? D1 who you have known much longer than that, human. Tanya, my friend that I used to know was gone a long time ago and is instead replaced by this conniving, mischievous, unrespectful person who doesn't know the meaning of no, I said with venom. I'm not leaving, not without you. Then Emmett came in. All right, days of our lives, it's time for you to pack your things and go. You heard my bro, he doesn't want you here, so get your Prada, your nasty smelling perfume, your unnecessary clothing articles, and get your strawberry blonde fake ass the hell out of her before I make you. Emmett, stop, I said. You wouldn't dare touch me, she warned. Oh, you want to see cuz bitch, I'll take you down. Emmett, knock it off, I warned again because I really didn't need him involved in this cuz I know what Tanya is capable of. Is that a threat? Tanya asked. He scoffed. No baby, that's a promise. Then Rosalie, Alice, and Jasper came in. Okay, this isn't Jerry Springer. Emmett, knock it off, Edward needs to telephone Tanya herself, she said, trying to get Emmett out of the room. Yay, see Emmett, you can't even take care of yourself, you have to have your fake blonde of a wife come and help you, Tanya said. Oh no, this could get physical, more physical than I expected, but I'm going to let my family get it out of their system because Tanya did deserve it. Rosalie turned around. Oh, you want to talk fake? I'll give you fake. Suddenly Alice jumped in front of Rosalie and stopped her, but Rose was trying to get to Tanya. Rose, she's not worth it, Alice said, trying to calm her down. Oh look, Rosalie has to be saved. D by the puny little good-for-nothing pixie, Tanya retorted. Oh, that did it for Alice. It all happened so fast. 1 minute Alice stood taking in what Tanya just said about her, the next Alice pounced on Tanya, beating her down. I knew this had gone too far, so I got Alice and pulled her off of Tanya. You're lucky I didn't get my little pixie fingers and pull out your hair extensions, Alice threatened. Jasper took hold of Alice and tried to comfort her. I looked at Tanya with rage, I just wanted her out and out now. Tanya, get out. Pack your things, leave Bella alone, stop making fun of my family, and get the hell out. I screamed at her. You know you don't mean that, Eddie. Ah, come on, just leave already. Emmett screamed at her. You know what, Emmett? Emmett made his way towards her. Oh, I'll tell you what. He got his fists ready, and at that point it was total chaos. Everyone was screaming at one another to try to calm each other down and screaming at Tanya as well. I jumped in trying to calm them down as well. Everyone, knock it off. Someone screamed and we all came quiet. We all turned to find that the person screaming was Carlisle. Enough, all of you. Tanya, pack all your things. And you out of this house. I know what you have done and it has caused too much trouble for my family. I want you out. And with that he left. The whole room was silent. We all looked at each other amazed. Carlisle has never been angry or spoke like that before. Then we all looked at Tanya and she looked sad and mad at the same time. I don't need my stuff, so I'll just go, she said, still snobby. Then he came up to me and said, I'm not going to give up, Eddie, even though you don't see it, I sure do, and with that she headed down the stairs. Let the door hit you on the way out. Emmett yelled to her. All we heard was a loud boom. And we knew she was gone, for now. Well, I think I'm going to my room now, Rose said, and they all gave me a good job, Edward, or we're proud of you, bro. As soon as they left, I went to go see Carlisle. He was in his study room. Hello, Edward, he said, keeping his eyes on his book. Carlisle, what happened to you? I mean, you have never spoken or have been angry like that before. He set his book down and looked me in the eyes. Edward the First, no, most of the time I'm a very generous, understanding person. Well, vampire if you will, but when someone threatens my family, and future family for that matter, I don't care who it is, I will have no hesitation in setting them straight, whatever necessary. Wow, Carlisle, I don't know what to say except, thank you. No problem, Ed. Ward, though it was funny hearing all of you trying to defend Bella and all of you trying to control one another, but then it went to chaos. He laughed and I laughed as well. Well, she said she will be back, so we will have to be careful. Don't worry, Edward, Alice will see it coming, and when she does, we'll be ready. A knock came to the door and Alice peeked her head in here. Edward, can I speak to you for a moment? It's important. Thank you again, Carlyle. With that I left him to go back to ready his book. I closed the door and turned to face Alice. What is it, Alice? Well, I was trying to see. Heck on Bella to see her future, and well, I can't, it's blurry, and the only time that happened was when she was with I cut her off. Werewolves, and with that I ran to her house. I didn't even get my car. I told her werewolves were dangerous. Of course she wouldn't listen to me. If something happens to her, I don't know what I'll do. I reached her house and went through her window. Good thing she keeps it open. As I got in her room I had to think of what to do. Should I go after her? No, that would break the treaty. But I don't want her to get hurt. I'll just wait here for her to come back and then I'll have to talk to her. Today has not been a good day. I sat on her bed hoping, waiting for my love to come back safe. I finally reached my house even though I could have been here quick. If I hadn't stopped and gone to the side of the road to wipe all of my tears off. Well, I guess the point is I'm home and just go to sleep and dream this day away. I went upstairs to find none other than Edward. I gasped. He was sitting on my bed just staring at me. So you were on the reservation to see him. I took a deep breath preparing to explain myself and once again tell him, Edward J. Ake is not going to hurt me, and besides my dad was there, I explained, walking and sitting next to him on my bed. Edward wrapped his arms around me and put his chin on top of my head. You have no idea how much you worried me. I almost wanted to cross the line and risk breaking the treaty, but I thought against it. Edward, you need to understand that Jake is in my life too, and he's my best friend, and you also need to understand that he won't hurt me at all. Edward turned my face to meet his and we stared at each other for a while. He sighed. Okay, I'll try. For you, I don't approve of it at all, but I'll do anything that will make you happy. Thank you, I said and kissed him on his cold lips. So after I left, what did you do? I asked him. Well, let's just say it's been a very long night, and Tanya is gone. I tried not to show how relieved and excited I was. Really? How? I mean, what happened? Well, my family and I just decided to have a little talk with her. Oh, well, are you going to miss her? He looked at me. Absolutely not, he said sincerely. Well, I've missed you. I've missed you too. He brought his lips to mine and we began to kiss, and before I knew it he was on top of me and we were kissing feverishly. He brought my leg up to his waist and I grabbed fistfuls of his hair. We kept kissing, and when I needed to breathe he would begin to kiss my neck and then my collarbone. I brought my lips back to his and started to unbutton his shirt. Bella, no, why not? Please, we've discussed this, you know that I could hurt you. I sighed, knowing that we have discussed, and it was a very long discussion of how he could hurt me, and that was the last thing he wanted to do. You should go to sleep. I would have protested, but it was a long day and I really didn't want to argue my case, so I agreed, listening to him hum my lullaby once again. I woke up with Edward gone, but I knew he would be outside waiting to drive me to school. When I was ready I headed downstairs. Morning, Dad. Morning, Bells. You hungry? No thanks. Well, Edward's waiting, so I'm going to go. Wait, Bells. Yeah, Dad. I wanted to thank you for visiting Jake yesterday, Billy, and I could tell that made him feel better. You should visit him more often. I know, Dad. Don't worry, I'll try to visit Jake as much as I can. Okay, that's good, Bells. Well, go on, I'm sure what's his name is waiting for you. Edward, Dad, his name is Edward and you know it. Yeah, go on and get to school. I laughed and headed out the door, seeing Edward open the passenger door for me. He closed it and then we were off. The whole way to school there was nothing but silence. We reached the school parking lot and he just stared out the window. Were you serious about what you said? What? I asked, confused. About trying to see Jake whenever you can. I looked at him even though he wasn't looking at me. Edward, you said you would do your best to be okay with this. I know, it's just I'm trying to get used to the idea of you being around wolves. Well, thank you, I love you for trying, I said as I moved to where his cheek was and kissed it. He smiled and kissed me back. We should go to class, okay. It was lunchtime and Alice, Edward and I sat with Angela, Jessica, Eric, and Mike. So are you guys excited for prom? Angela asked. Oh my gosh, yes. Jessica squealed. Eric and Mike said, Yes, very weakly. Why are you guys so down? I asked. Well, it's not that we aren't excited for prom, Eric started. It's what these girls make us do to get ready for it before, Mike ended. Oh, we're not that bad, Jessica noted. Yay, sure, okay, Mike said. So have you gotten your dress for prom yet, Bella? Angela asked. Yes, she hasn't. It's going to look amazing on her, Alice butted in. I looked at her in disbelief. I did. Yes, you did. I picked it out for you. Can't wait to see it, Angela said. I looked at Edward, letting him know that we were going to talk about this. He never told me he wanted to go to prom. He knows I don't like to dance, let alone wear a dress with heels. Other than what happened at lunch, the whole day went smoothly. When school was done, I called Charlie, letting him know that I was heading over to the Cullen's house. He wasn't too happy about that, but I told him apparently I had a prom dress to try on. Charlie began to have a hysterical laugh at that one and wished me good luck. PFF'd, I'll need it. As we were in the car driving to Edward's house, I decided to ask him. So why didn't you tell me we were going to prom? He smiled. Well, I was going to ask you properly, but I didn't get a chance to after Alice spilled about your dress. I groaned. Edward, you know how I felt about dances. I know, but I thought that this would be a good experience for you. You're only a teenager once. Not if you change me. That's when we pulled to the side of the road in an utter stop. Bella, you know how I feel about that. We've discussed this over and over again. I don't want you to live this kind of life. Edward, I know, but I want nothing more than to be with you forever, and the only way to do that is to change me. Bella, I don't want to discuss this, at least not now. When then? I don't know, but certainly not now. Okay, but we will talk about this soon. If that's what you want, fine, but my answer is still the same, fine. Edward began to drive and chuckled. What? I asked. Nothing, it just, you're so stubborn, he said as he parked in his driveway. Well, sorry, I said. It's okay, I like it when you're stubborn, he said as he kissed my cheek like I did in the parking lot today. I smiled and sighed. Okay, let's get this over with. We walked in the doorway, being greeted by Alice. You're here, she squealed. Let's get started. I need to make sure everything fits, and I need to know what hairstyle. Why? Oh, you want that way? When it comes to prom time we will be ready. She grabbed my arm and started to take me to her room. Wait, Edward, aren't you coming? I think this is more of a girl's affair and I shouldn't intrude. Very smart of you, Alice noted. But, I began. Not another word, come on. I groaned and gave Edward the, I can't believe you're letting this happen to me, look before Alice dragged me away from him. This is going to be fun. Bella, stop fretting, she said, and as soon as she opened her door, that's where the nightmare began. Thanks for watching.